Rebel Ridge is directed by Jeremy Saulnier, the man behind Blue Ruin, Green Room, and Hold the Dark, and it's currently streaming on Netflix. And this film's about an ex-Marine who grapples his way through a web of small-town corruption when an attempt to post bail for his cousin escalates into a violent standoff with the local police chief. But before we go any further in the video, I do want to give a special thank you to the sponsor, Factor. Factor makes meeting your nutrition goals easier than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian-approved meals right to your doorstep. Their team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel your best all day long. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, you can get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door with over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more. It also helps you skip the overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious. All of their meals are ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. And for me, with the kids, sometimes dinner time can be very hectic. Everyone's trying to figure out exactly what we're supposed to do. What do they want? What do we want? Can we all just agree on something? Factor makes it so much easier to plan for that because you know exactly what you're going to get. You have your meal options, you could choose between them, and it just makes everything run a lot smoother. So head to factor75.com or click the link below and use the code Stuckmann50 to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code Stuckmann50 at factor75.com for 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. That link is in the description below. Be sure to check it out. Thank you so much to Factor for sponsoring this video. I'm a huge fan of Jeremy Saulnier. I love Blue Ruin. I love Green Room. I think he's so super talented. I could not wait to watch this movie, but I decided that I was not going to watch the trailer, and I didn't even look up the plot synopsis for Rebel Ridge. I was just like, I trust him. I'm excited to see this movie. I don't even need to know what it's about. I'm just gonna watch it. I love this movie so much. I think it is one of my favorite Netflix films I have ever seen, but I do think my experience was heightened even more by not having seen the trailer or even knowing the plot. So when this movie opens with Terry Richmond, played by Pierre, getting run off the road on a bicycle by a cop, I immediately felt the exact same type of tension and excitement given to me by movies like First Blood. This movie is fucking awesome. Pierre is magnificent, filling the shoes of a type of character we've certainly seen before, a kind of silent badass who chooses his words very carefully, who has a past that will eventually come back to haunt the people who wronged him. It's the type of action movie trope that is always going to work if it's done well, and it is done exceptionally well here. The tension is heightened so spectacularly that I kept checking the runtime as the movie progressed because I just wanted to reassure myself that I had more movie to watch because I was so into it. I could have watched a 2.5-hour version of this. It is easily one of my favorites of the year. I will say it also checks a lot of boxes for me. I love small town action genre films, whether it's horror or thriller or action. I love movies that you're mostly following one character and you want to see this person given some kind of justice, and it just kind of played all of my heartstrings perfectly. It really does put you in his shoes as he's dealing with the worst cops you could ever imagine. And similar to First Blood, you are instantly on his side and you understand why this guy has got to take care of business eventually. But what's different about First Blood is that while both of these characters, Rambo and in this case Terry Richmond, don't want violence and would like to avoid it at all costs, they eventually both give in and have to defend themselves. It's just that with Terry Richmond here, he finds ways around that masterfully to just manipulate people through really great dialogue and figure out how he can get inside people's heads and make them scared of him. And I just could not take my eyes off this guy. Pierre truly is a superstar. He was so good in this movie. I would love to see more with this character, or really just more with him in other films. Anna Sophia Robb gives the best performance I've ever seen from her as well. I thought she was fantastic as someone who works in this clerk of court's office who desperately needs this job for various reasons I won't get into. But the film also goes through a rather complicated web of legal dialogue that can sometimes become overwhelming, but I was also very impressed by the amount of research to find ways to make all of this paperwork seem really interesting and dramatically powerful. Because there's a lot of moments where these characters stand back and they're like, wait, is this legal? And she's like, yeah, it's right here in this paper. And look, I'm not researching whether or not these are real laws, but it felt real to me as I was watching it. And I think that very simple human reaction of understanding just what a person in a position of authority could do if they found a loophole in a certain law is rather terrifying. I like to think that this movie is in some sort of strange parallel universe to Dragged Across Concrete, because both of them deal with police corruption. Both of them have Don Johnson as a corrupt police chief. They really do feel like they could be companion piece films in a way. They're both over 2 hours. The difference is Dragged Across Concrete largely follows the cops themselves, whereas this film is following someone who was wronged by them exclusively. I would love to see more movies like this on Netflix, and it's funny because people are calling this an indie, and you look up the budget and it's apparently like $28 million, but that is an indie in Netflix language nowadays, which is fucking crazy. That's so much money to make a movie, but it's still extremely well done, and I'm just so happy that people are watching it and getting excited about it, and hopefully this creates the opportunity to maybe see this guy again. I love this movie. If you didn't get a chance to see it yet, go check it out. This is a damn good movie. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.